Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be telling you the story of how I received this injury on the ship and how much money I actually get in compensation for this injury. Now this video is a part 2 of the journey series, where in part 1 I tell you guys how I spent 24 hours on the streets of Kingston, Jamaica just to do an interview to go on the ship. If you missed that video, I'm going to be leaving the link in the description and in the comment section so you guys can go ahead and check out that video so you get a better understanding of this video. I'm also going to be dropping some gems, so stick around to the end of the video. Make sure you like, share and subscribe. Now respect, we'll get right into the story. One of the main things I realize about working on the ship is that there's a lot of misconception, because people think say, yo, people who work on the ship, them actually rich, them actually have it easy, them actually are living a paradise, and shipwork is a better rose. But I'm here to tell you it's not. It's much more complicated than that, just like with everything else in our life. When you work on a ship, there's a lot of challenge that comes with it. There's a lot of pros and there's a lot of cons. But the major benefits about working on the ship is that, guess what? You get to travel the world, you get to see the world, and you don't have to pay for your travel. And that was the main attraction for me for going on the ship. That was what attracted me to the ship, because I know say, yo, I can travel the world, or make a living, and I don't have to pay for it. And I got to see the world, and that's why a lot of people go on the ship in the first place. The next benefit of working on the ship is that when you're working on the ship, you get a lot of training, and it means that you're very competent at your job. So if you leave the ship and you're trying to get jobs elsewhere, a lot of people, they won't hesitate to hire you, because they know that ship workers are very competent. Them can manage work because you're working long hours. So obviously you must build up a lot of resistance to work. So people tend to hire you easier when you work on the ship. Another benefit to working on the ship is that you get to mix up yourself with a lot of different cultures, people from different areas across the world. So that means you're a little bit more culturally diverse, you're a little bit more open to a lot of things. And some people work on the ship and they meet their husband and they meet their wife, because they get immersed in that culture. You're on the ship in a small space with so much people. Now, there are disadvantages of working on the ship as well. One of the major disadvantages is that here the hours are very long. You work sometime from the morning, even though you get break, you work every single day. From the minute you go on the ship, you're working until the day you sign off, you're still working. So some persons may not be able to manage that. And also the culture shock as well. The culture shock of working on the ship can be devastating for some people. Some people don't fit in. Some people turn to drinks, drugs, alcohol, all sort of things were really not beneficial. So that's that challenge as well. Sometimes the drills become frustrating because you're constantly in a state of emergency. You know that anything that can happen. So you're always training, you're always learning and so forth. So that put a strain on your mind as well. And of course, seasickness is a real thing, because some of the time you may not be sick, but when you're traveling for long voyages, like you're going across the ocean, Atlantic Ocean or Pacific Ocean or wherever the case may be, you tend to become seasick. I was once seasick on the ship. I may tell you, say, it's devastating. You can't eat, you can't sleep. When you smell certain things, you vomit. You have to just eat green apple and live by the bin, because as soon as the ship rock, you basically become motion sick. Motion sickness take over, and it's really hard for your body. You might work on the ship and somebody not like you, who have power over you, and it can make your life very difficult. Your roommate, you might not get along with your roommate, because remember, you're in a small confined space with one person. That person can make your life a living hell, and you may not like that. Doing laundry is a challenge of doing laundry as well, because if you don't really have the time to do the laundry, you can put your clothes in the washer, somebody come and stop your clothes and take it out and put it in their clothes, or your clothes might don't dry and then get mixed up with other people's clothes and you end up losing your clothes. So there's a lot of challenge. There are pros and there are cons. So if you want to work on a ship, just know that it's not going to be a bed of rose, but it's also very beneficial. There's you don't really make a lot of money unless you really have a good position on the ship. So don't think say, you make a lot of money on the ship as well. Now let's get into how I got injured. So at the time when I was working on the ship, a lot of things were going right and a lot of things were also going wrong as well. I was always getting awards. At that time, they used to give away some small cards. Like when you do something right, they give you a small card and you can redeem them for phone card, for purchases and stuff like that at the gift shop or anywhere else. So I was getting a lot of those. I was doing pretty well. But at the time, I don't know when it happened. Things were just a fall apart. I get like 2 written warnings within a short period of time. And if you get 3 written warnings, you're basically out. The first written one me get was because me did sick and me never report it on time. And then say, yo, that could cause an outbreak. So me end up get a warning for that. And me get isolation in my room. And that was before quarantine and stuff, things like that. Me actually get quarantine in my room. I feel lock up in my room. I had a friend, she was the one who was bringing me, sneaking food to me because they couldn't eat normal food. So me get isolated. The next reason why me get warning letter was that somebody leave one plastic wrap in our oven and it catch a fire. And them decide to them all write up everybody in the kitchen because nobody no want to talk or who do it. So me get 2 written warning. And at the time my son did just born. Like maybe 1 or 2 days my son just born, and it did really take a toll on me because me did really want to see my son. And at that time, the only way I did see my son was because I got a picture, an email, and I have to print off the email and just stick up the picture in my room because it did really get to me. My first born, I did a film. His mother have Wolper challenge as well. So it did just really frustrating. So I went to Human Resource and I asked him if I could end my contract early. They were telling me no, they really can't end it. So there's a lot of things that was going on. On one hand me I excel, and on the other hand me I break down. Ship Lifestyle get to me right at the end of my contract, and I had like maybe 4 more weeks before my contract was up. So one of the major challenges about working on the ship, or at least the area that I was working, which was in the kitchen, was that if you have a manager or supervisor who don't manage the accounting properly, sometimes you don't have stuff to work. And everybody know that it's an open secret when you're working on the ship that in order for you to survive, sometimes you have to steal other people's work. You have to steal other people's production. So at nights, sometimes you may have to get up 1 o'clock out of your bed, go raid somebody's station and thief all of them preppings, or some of them preppings just to enhance your preppings. You have to go thief coconut milk, you have to go thief seasoning, just to make your job easy. That was a part of the job, that was a part of the open secret, and everybody who works on the ship knows that. So yeah, we used to have some knives in the kitchen, and what happened is that they identified the knives as being a safety hazard because the belly of the knife did eat up. You sharpen it down so much, the belly of it eat up, but it was a very sharp knife. So everybody really loved use the knife there, even though the knife was a hazard. So them take out all of the knives that were hazardous out of the kitchen, but somebody saved the knife there. And one day me at work, and I tell her say, yo, the knife didn't, and I take up the knife because I couldn't find no other knife to use. And I tell her say it was so busy, it was very busy. And me ask the supervisor, say, yo, me need more cabbage, because I make steamed cabbage. Me need more cabbage, because what me have now go work. Him say, yo, we have to just do buy. So me use the cabbage, cook me cabbage. By the time I start run out, and the manager come now, him start run up and down. Him run go get cabbage and I rush me if he cut it. So yo, me I cut the cabbage, you know, because me can use my knife fast. But at the same minute, me don't know, for some strange reason, because of the combination of rushing and the discrepancy with the knife, me just feel the sharp pain just go through my finger. One of the most painful thing me ever feel in my life. Me just feel like when my finger severed. And me grab my hand like this and just ball out, and then me just start kick down all of the garbage pan in the kitchen. The elevator that next door to my workstation, so me jump in the elevator and just run go to the medical. When me did it for a while, I can feel my hand say, yo, me I hold it so it stop bleed. Me I hold it, me I clench my fist real tight so it stop bleed. The doctor at the time, them convinced me to let go of my hand so they can really examine it. When me let go of my hand, all me I see are just ligaments and just torn ligaments. Part of my finger gone, no finger no did them. I said, Jano, me start panic and stuff like that. Piece of my finger gone. Piece of my finger actually cut off. This is the worst cut me ever get in my life. Me used to get cut regular when me just start, but this cut was beyond anything else. Yo, me not feel so much pain in my life. Them dress me, but after them dress me, them tell me say, yo, this case is a little bit too serious. Me might have to come off of the ship and go on board a facility to get treatment. And that time I was in Italy. So yo, me I say, yo, Italy, but me not take it too serious. But when me done, then dress the cut, give me injection, and then tell me say, yo, me have to go sign off a ship. So me must pack my stuff. Me go up in the night and pack up my bag them. Me not even get to tell nobody say, yo, me I leave. Me go up and pack up my bag them. lay down in a cabin, couldn't sleep all night, but because of how much pain me I feel, me eventually fall asleep, wake up early in pain as well. When I wake up, everything blood up, my sheet blood up, my shirt blood up, because I still did have on my white shirt and my chef pants, everything blood up. Me have to just bring them to the incinerating room and burn the clothes them because it was just blood everywhere. I wipe up myself, and yeah, them signed me off a ship because I was in Italy at that time. We were going to another location. They signed me off the ship, and then a taxi brought me to the medical facility. I got a facility now. Them tell me say, yo, them have to go either take flesh from my shoulder or between my grind corner for wrap around me hand. So me I said to myself, say, yo, me not trust them people there. Me not sure if them all cut nothing down there, say, yo, nothing can stand up again. So, yo, me not trust them down there. So me tell them, say, yo, I want them take it from my shoulder. So they took the flesh from my shoulder right here and they wrap it around my finger. It was very difficult being in Italy. I couldn't fly out of the country because I have no visa. Plus, me have an injury. I have this injury and I have this one because there was a big plaster on my shoulder. Stuck in at the hotel. And that time, internet wasn't so... You couldn't get really internet access like that. You couldn't get Wi-Fi every now and then, but you really couldn't get it like that. And YouTube never so popular at the time. So, yo, you don't have no internet. You're stuck in at the hotel, not the hotel, the hospital. It was a private hospital though, so I have my own bed, I have my own shower and stuff like that. No visitors, me just in at the hospital for 2 weeks. Luckily, me just have my mind for my son, going home and seeing my son. That was what kept me through the time. I never have no visa, so they did have to get a visa for me to fly from Italy to Jamaica. So I end up fly out. But luckily, me did get in contact with some people from the ship, some other workers who get injured already and wanting what they want me before. Even when me leave the ship, because I see some of them in the morning, them want me, they say, yo, don't go light on them. Keep up it because they will abandon you. Make sure say yo, them take care of you because they will abandon you with the injury. There's a lot of money to be made because there was a guy who told me that me can get up to 200,000 US for this cut alone. And at the time it was valid, it was a valid thing, but they say yo, you have to pressure them, you have to stick on them. But me say yo, me not really want, at the time me never think about to get lawyer and stuff like that, but I was told I could get $200,000 for it. I mean, me mustn't use their medical doctors because they will go in favor of the ship. So yo, me never really, me listen, but at the same time, you don't really have nobody to really guide you and stuff like that. So me never really pursue that much. They arrange everything still. Them pay for my hospital and everything, and me get to Jamaica. When me see my son, it was like everything. Me just not feel no more pain or no more discomfort anymore when me get my visa and fly go Jamaica. Me just feel like it was all worth it. All of that the pain vanished, even though me have my hand plastered up and everything. Yeah, Jamaica stitches came out, fall up by themselves, and my hand start work properly. But me did have a problem. If my hand go against anything cold, me feel extreme pain. If you go against the heat, me feel the pain and stuff like that. So it was very sensitive. But during that time, they contact me from the ship and them tell me they not give me a stipend for not working. So I got like $12 per day per day for 5 days per week. So me could still me could still have an income even though I wasn't working at the time. Use that time, they say, you know what, me go better myself and try to enhance myself. Me not go to sit down. So I went back to school during that time. After a year, they sent me to a plastic surgeon in Montego Bay. They sent a bus for me and everything, and I go there. The plastic surgeon, they informed me that they made a mistake in Italy because the flesh should not have come from my shoulder because it's a soft area, it should have come from my hand. So them offer me if you do the plastic surgery over, if you take out the flesh from here, wrap it around my hand. But me I say, yo, me not go through that because it go take 3 months to recover. So me say, yo, it don't make no sense me go through that. Better me just stick it out and just live with this mark for the rest of my life and just know say, yo, a trademark. So afterwards, them contact me, plastic surgeon, say, what you want? Do you want continue with the treatment or you want say you're good? Me tell them say, yo, I'm good. Me think say, yo, them all deal with me. After me tell them say me good, me not hear back nothing more from them. Because them used to call me regular, like twice a week, every fortnight. After that, me not hear nothing more from them once they say me good. A few times when after me start work back again and me start feel a lot of pain in my hand and so, me I say, yo, me should really follow up. But me I say, yo, because of how they treated me good during that time, me just say, you know what, me just call it a loss and just know say, yo, that's how it goes. Yeah, but me could have really make some money off of it if me did put my own lawyer upon it and if me did follow up a little bit more. But in the sense of the fact that they took care of me, so well during that time, me just say, yo, call it a loss, and me just live with this. So that's how I got this cut on my hand, and it will always be there, and it is always going to be a reminder of once you want something, you're not going to just get what you want just like that. You're going to have some trials and you're going to have some tribulation, but you just have to keep pushing forward. Guys, thank you for watching. We have come to the end of the video. Just stay tuned. Part 3 is coming up, episode 3 of the journey. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Remember, I'm Alex the Feel Good Chef. Until next time, I'm out.